Hey guys, Chicago injury lawyer Scott DeSalvo here, and you may have noticed that I need a haircut. And I mean, I need a haircut bad. It's been about a month since I got my haircut, and my hair is all over the place. It might not look too bad in the video, but I assure you, when I wake up in the morning, I look like some sort of cave beast, or Sasquatch, or I don't know what. I look like, my hair is all over the place. Anyway, I'll get a haircut pretty soon, but that's not what I'm talking about the video today to you. It's not the topic for today's video. The topic today is I've got a chronic permanent pain condition, but nobody believes me. How do I prove it? How can I prove my permanent pain condition in my injury case? So this was inspired by, this is not the exact question that somebody asked me. I was able to call them up and ask them when they made a comment on my YouTube video. But this is like a side issue that was raised, and I think it's something that might interest people who have what is turned into a permanent pain condition. So we see this most often involving the spine. So somebody's got a permanent bad back. Sometimes the symptoms go down into the legs, or a neck injury that's permanent, and sometimes the symptoms go into their shoulders and arms. But you can have, a chronic permanent pain condition in any part of your body. I have a young lady who was bit by a dog who has a permanent problem with her leg, and a guy with a spinal cord stimulator in his foot after a crush injury. So what are we talking about when we're talking about a permanent chronic pain condition, right? So the way people are wired to think about an injury is, if you get hurt, you go to the doctor, they send you to a specialist, they do treatment, and then you get better. That's the expectation for a judge and a jury and just most people. But when you have a problem that is ongoing, it's often a problem of being able to prove it, right? So here are the things you have to think about. The first one is seek out a firm diagnosis, okay? So what am I talking about here? If you've got a bad back with pain going down in the legs, or a bad neck with pain going into the shoulders or arms, it's important to get an MRI. It's important to get a diagnosis from a doctor where the doctor documents that you are in permanent pain. Okay, so some people are like, my neck has never been the same, my back has never been the same, but they don't have a firm diagnosis from a doctor where it's documented that they've got permanent ongoing pain. The second thing to think about is we need a cause, right? So if you've watched a lot of my videos, you know that I'm a graduate of the Jerry Spence Trial Lawyers College, and also Don Keenan's EDGE, or it used to be called the Reptile System, now it's called something else. I'm a graduate of that program too. I read all the books, I study all the stuff, I implement it in my law practice. I'm relentless in learning new stuff to represent injured people better. And one of the big things is why in an injury case. Why? So there's been studies, psychological studies. It was a study where people were waiting in a line for something, and people would come up to them and ask to cut in, and a certain percentage would let them cut the line, and a higher percentage said, no, I'm not going to let you cut. I've been waiting here. All the people behind me have been waiting. I'm not going to let you in. So it wasn't that successful just going up and asking. But what worked is when you gave a reason why. So when somebody gave a reason, can I please cut in front of you? My daughter is sick in the car waiting, and I have to get cash for the doctor, or I have to get cash for her medicine. Something like that. People let you in. They believe you and they let you in. And that's sort of what we're talking about here. The second thing we are talking about is the why. And so how does that apply in this context? I want an MRI, or I want some ability to explain why this situation is different than the typical situation. And the only way to get it is with a friendly doctor, right? A friendly doctor who can explain physically why it is that you're still having pain, right? If you have pain with no explanation, a jury doesn't like it, a judge doesn't like it, insurance companies won't pay for it. You need a diagnosis and you need a why. You need an explanation as to why whatever thing that's going on in your body is continuing to cause you pain. Otherwise, they consider it phantom pain with no, they call it subjective pain with no organic or subjective or objective basis. That means you're complaining of pain, they can't explain a reason for it, and they can't explain it. That's not good. That doesn't put you in a good condition. This might mean that you need to see a different doctor. It might mean that you need to go to a specialist to get to the bottom of it, okay? The third thing is, if you are not checking in with a doctor regularly for a chronic pain condition, even if it's just going to the doctor and getting a prescription for pain medication, or getting some kind of physical therapy or physical medicine, and then checking in with your doctor 4 times a year or every 60, 90 days, something like that, where they can document in the medical records patient returns still having problem with neck due to car accident or fall down or work injury or whatever it is. You can't just say, okay, I've got a permanent chronic pain condition and I'm just not going to see a doctor for it anymore. In order for us to be able to prove it, a judge and a jury and an insurance company is going to expect to see some medical care on a regular basis. It doesn't have to be every week or every month. It can be every 3 months where you check in with the doctor, and if they come up with a better idea or if they give you a referral and you don't go to the referral, I understand it can be tiring and exhausting to have to go to see yet another doctor, but that's kind of what you want to do. A judge and a jury and an insurance company doesn't want to see you being given an option that might fix the problem, and then you don't even make an effort to go to the doctor and check it out, okay? The last thing I want to talk to you about proving chronic pain is, there are some diagnoses like CRPS, which stands for chronic regional pain syndrome, or like a permanent nerve damage. These are sorts of things where it's not like you can show an x-ray or an MRI and say, here's the broken bone. It's not that kind of injury, but there are tests that they have to show that there's a nerve problem. One is an EMG that shows whether the nerves are conducting electricity and sensation and pain signals properly or improperly, and if it's improperly, that is some objective evidence of the injury. And with CRPS, more and more, CRPS is a serious chronic pain condition that you end up with when you have a catastrophic injury or a serious injury to a part of the body. So under those circumstances, there are some tests that doctors do, but it's important that you get in to see an expert on something like that. They have tests, clinical tests, and they're developing more and more tests as they begin to understand the condition better. Last thing I'll mention is, sometimes people in chronic pain are told that they need surgery and it's the only thing that's going to help, but their other medical conditions are so severe that they can't get the surgery, or they're afraid to have the surgery. So there's a split of opinion amongst attorneys regarding that. Some attorneys are like, well, if they don't go get the surgery, it's a loser case, etc., etc. I am of the opinion that you, as the patient, should decide what's best for you medically, and we'll build the case around that. And I'll give you a little hint. It goes back to what we were talking about, explaining why something is the way it is. Why are you afraid of the surgery? This sort of thing, right? So that is how all that works. That's that and that's that. I hope that this gives you some insight into proving a chronic pain. If, God forbid, you or a loved one is suffering from chronic pain and you have a case or you have a question, please feel free to give me a call anytime, night or day, 312-500-4500, 312-500-4500. You can call for a free consultation anytime, night or day. It will get answered. You could call me at midnight on Christmas Eve. And, you know, unless you're Santa Claus delivering presents for all the good little girls and boys, I'll probably hang up with you and tell you to call me back. But everybody else, you know, you're going to get my people, and if I'm awake, you'll get me, okay? So if I can do anything to help you, you let me know. But, you know, sometimes you're not ready to talk to a lawyer. So I built two really cool tools on my website. One is called the Good Case Calculator. Lets you know whether you have a good case or whether you might have a case that has some challenges. And as I say in a lot of my other videos, knowing what the problems are as early on as possible is the key to fixing the case, to making the case as strong as possible, to address the problems instead of ignoring them. An injury lawyer who ignores the problem is primed to lose the case. That's not how we do it at my office. And then the other tool is the Case Cash Calculator, also known as the Settlement Calculator. So how both of these quizzes, they're different quizzes because they answer different questions. The way they work is you go to the web address. These are free tools on my website, no login and required, and I'll leave the links in the description. You literally use the tool. You answer, I think, 7 questions, and then you get custom answers tailored to your case. No lawyer to talk to, nobody to talk to. The tools are free and no obligation. The coolest thing is you get your answer in 10 or 20 seconds, like that. So I designed these tools to be super fast and easy to use, but with killer information that you're not going to want to miss. So links in the description, check them out, completely free for you or your friends or family to use. Feel free to share them. If you enjoy my video, please subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified, and give me a thumbs up on the video if you enjoyed it or if it helped you in any way. And finally, if you are somebody who follows me and you enjoy the free information I provide to injured people and you wouldn't mind doing it, it would really be a nice favor. It would really help me out, and I'd really appreciate it. I need more 5-star reviews on Google. So I'll leave a link in the description where you can go to that web page on a phone, tablet, or cell phone. Computer, tablet, or cell phone. I haven't had enough coffee this morning, as you can tell. It takes you right to the web page. You click 5 stars, say a kind word, hit submit, you're done. It takes you literally 5 or 10 seconds total, and it really, really helps me out. So if you wouldn't mind doing that, I'd appreciate it. So hope your friends and family and life is going well. And if you need me, please give me a call. Otherwise, have a beautiful day. Take care.